free safety in your prime, Devin McCourty. Would you like playing against Drake Maye right now?
Yeah, I mean, you would love playing against any young quarterback. I just think, and I'll say this about Drake is you're playing against a young quarterback in his second year in his second offense, and it's early in the season. So yeah, that's a part of the growing pains of it. As I think, as much as we talked to him in a production meeting, as much as he's enjoying Josh McDaniels and the offense and you go out there week one and you have all of these different reads and calls you got to make, and you get out there and it's like, all right, this is the first time somebody's game planned against us. They're trying to do different things. Now it gets a lot harder. So I think for him, it wasn't as crisp and fast as I'm sure he would have wanted it. I think sometimes he held the ball where there was somebody open and he could have just fired it like as soon as he hit the back foot. There were other times he hits the back foot and it's like, dang, everybody's covered. Maybe we should have got into something else. So I think that's a part of week one. I don't think he was the only person. Like I'm over here watching the Giants game. Like I thought Russell Wilson at other times, there's a read where I thought the pre-snap read should have told him to look one way. He gets the ball, he's not looking there. And if he would have looked there, the ball should have came out. So I think it's just a part of week one, not knowing what exactly the defense is going to give you. That's what was always so hard about week one. We used to talk about it. Week one was about we have a game plan and we're probably adjusting. When you're now adjusting with a brand new coordinator that you've never done that with, I think that's a little harder to do. Like I'm sure they walked away saying we didn't have a plan to come in and throw the ball this much with Drake Maye, but the game kind of played out and they ended up playing that way. And I think that'll help them get better. But I think for Drake Maye, it is what it is. Like you have to go through these growing pains to get better in a brand new offense.
Yeah, everybody wants it to happen immediately. And as you mentioned earlier, this is actually his fourth offensive coordinator in 4 years, dating back to college. So man, just give him a system and let him grow in the system. So it took him a little while last year where he felt, you felt like, oh, okay, things are starting to go in the right direction, even if maybe the team's not. Well, now it's the same thing. I know it's a different coaching staff, but he's got to get adjusted to it. The one thing I would go back to is the hesitation at times, right? And whether that's not trusting what he's seeing, him not trusting the receiver, whatever the case may be, when he let it rip, when he saw it and ripped it, that's when he was in his good flow. That's when oh, there are the pockets of good quarterback. It's the hesitation stuff that mattered. This is going to be crazy because it's not NFL football. This is high school football. My dad was my coach, right? I played quarterback for a little while. And he used to tell me, you hitch, you haul, meaning run. If you're hitching, you don't see it, you got to go. And I ran better than I threw it, which, whatever. I'm 5'9" quarterback. What'd you expect? That to me was that moment. There were times where he was hitching it. And even when he made the checkdowns, Devin, it was some of those checkdowns were rushed where he not that the base is going to be perfect every time, but the throw wasn't necessarily as accurate as it needed to be. You got Trevion Henderson blowing up on a play. It's just settle it down and let your athleticism take over.
And I think that was something they even talked about, coming in as a rookie for him of there's times you're in the pocket and I saw one where he threw to Pop Douglas to touchdown. And when you watch it, he kind of throws with his feet, split, for no reason, just step and throw the ball. But I also think that's a part of the game. When you're young, you speak about the hesitation, it gets spotlighted when you play quarterback. But when I was young, there were so many plays that right after the play where it would be bang, bang, and I make the tackle. I'm like, I can just go. I read it. I knew it. Just go. That's an interception. But your eyes fool you a little bit because then other times when you're young, you see something and then it doesn't work out. You're like, oh, maybe I didn't see it the way I wanted. I need to take a half a second. So I think it's the balance of trying to understand and go. But I think as you keep playing this game, the more reps you get, you don't think about that anymore because you're I've seen this 100 times now. It is what it is. I'm gone. And I think that's gonna happen for him. I just think what sucks for him right now is we live in a world of his draft class where Jaden Daniels, he saw it super fast, Bo Nix. But I think when you turn on the film this last week, Jaden Daniels missed some throws. You look at Bo Nix struggled in Denver. Michael Penix he looked pretty good Sunday. But like all of these young quarterbacks, JJ McCarthy, oh man, I didn't think his first half was as bad as people really spoke about, but he even got in the rhythm. So I just think that's a part of it. All these guys, you're not going to play the position at a high level every single time you go out. You just got to learn from it and get better. And I think that's the key for Josh and what he's going to preach to Drake. He just has to believe in that and get better each week.
Would you simplify it for him? Just because we know that Josh's offense is complex, and that's fine. I think you have to be in this league. You can't be vanilla. Defenses will chew you up. But maybe to get him, or especially early in games, to just get him like settled down, because he's talked about like he's amped, and you saw it in the preseason game, right? Stay on a couple balls in that Minnesota game. Like he comes out with this crazy energy, and he's got to figure out a way to sort of balance that and play smart.
Yeah, I think he has to settle himself down. Like some of the throws he missed they're like, well, what else do you want us to call? Like, you know what I mean? Like in the Minnesota game, we run a play action pass where Matt is wide open. Like that's what you want to do, right? Pitch and catch right over the middle, slant. So I think they have to let it get time. Like I watch Minnesota and JJ McCarthy, the first two plays, comes to the line. He's like, alert, alert. And he's barking all of these things. I'm like, holy, the first two plays of the game. Like he's in there, he's adjusting. And I think, I almost wrote in my notes, like, probably a little too much early, but then I'm like, but is it like we watch, and I know I'm in studio with Chris Sims every Sunday, and he's always like, take the training wheels off the offense, take the training. He's like, because sometimes he's like, you set these young quarterbacks up to fail because you are vanilla, and maybe your team's good enough that you can be vanilla and you win. But then eventually, how do you get them over that next step? And I think for the Patriots and Drake, I don't think they're that good for him to live in this, like, we're just going to turn around and hand the ball off, or we're going to just run, two slants and a diagonal route. Like, I don't know if they're going to consistently win and do those things, or if they could just dominate up front to say, we're just going to hand the ball off on these scheme runs. I think he has to have it a little complicated. He has to do some things. But again, when I talk to him, he wants that. He wants to learn and grow. I think ultimately we got to remember it's how can we be as good as possible around Thanksgiving, November time? How do we build towards that? And my teams on the Patriots, we started 2-2 sometimes, or 3-2, or 5 like it was a part of our kind of growth and progress as a team. And I think that's okay sometimes.
Those teams though had a lot more talent than this one does.
Yeah, and we still had to go through that. Like that talent still had to mesh. So now you take a less talented team, and you're expecting like, man, they got to start 3-1. Like it's gonna be hard to do. Now, again, it's important that now you go into week 2 and you're playing against another team that they don't seem like they have it all together. Now you want to kind of go out there and show that you can play better.